Hey, good afternoon, everybody. This is Crew O'Brien, Crew O'Brien Fishing. I just want to talk a little bit about the Bass Reaper Bait Company, a company that sponsors me and the having plastic baits and everything. I've been with them for just about 2 years, or going into the second year, and they have a lot of different plastic baits, and I think they've, now have got a little bit crankbaits and stuff. But I'm just going to go over a few of the baits that I like to use pretty much all the time when I'm either in tournaments or just out there practicing or fun fishing and stuff. But I'm going to start off with this one right here. It's the Bass Reaper Hedgehog. It's 4.5 inches long. And what I like about this and the Bass Reaper's Green Pumpkin is it's a lot darker than some of the other ones on the market. As you can kind of tell, can you tell the difference right there? I can. And the thing about this one here, you don't really need to have to dye this in dirtier water because of the darkness, but I do both, use chartreuse dyes and stuff. But this has a lot of action. It's the plastic is soft. I can skin it on the side here pretty easy when I'm using a Diachi hook and the first contact weight when I'm pitching into brush or buck brush or grass or against a log or something like that. So this is one of my favorite ones that I like to use all the time. I pretty much have one of these tied on all the time when I'm out there on the lake. The next one would probably be the Dead Stick. It's a 5-inch, kind of like a Senko, but again, the Green Pumpkin is pretty dark and great all year round bait. You can wacky style it or you can straight rig it, Texas rig it. But this bait is, the Dead Stick is very effective. Catches a lot of big fish and catches numbers of fish. And then my next one would be probably, when I'm flipping it or pitching, is the Coffin Crawl. It's a 4-inch crawl. And you can Texas rig this one. I use a Diachi hook and first contact weight on my Casking rod and reel. But I also use it as a trailer on the back of a jig. It's got a lot of good action with the tails or the pinchers and stuff. But again, it's just a soft, compact bait. I mean, it's kind of streamlined where you can flip it into cover, pretty tight and easy without getting hung up. And then probably the next one would be when I'm, shaky, when I'm using a shaky head. Finesse fishing is probably the 4.5-inch lash. This is kind of, streamlined. This one's a plum color. I mean, I like the Green Pumpkin, and I usually dip the tail in chartreuse dye. But I tell you, when fishing gets tough, you can't beat rigging it up on a shaky head, 3/16 1/4 ounce, 10-pound, 12-pound line, and this little worm right here. I mean, it'll catch fish no matter if it's a big fish or small fish, but it's a fish catcher. I'm telling you, it's when things are tough, it's very effective. The next one I like to use a lot is this 5-inch Sinister Shad. It's got great action on the tail right here, a lot of movement of the water. What I like, and I pretty much just like this solid white color. I'm not too particular about all these colors. I'm just thinking of shad and stuff. And even in dirty water, white shows up pretty good. But I use this pretty much a lot on the back of a Stanley wedge spinnerbait, usually 3/8 1/2 ounce. And it just gives that great action for a trailer. Now you can just, put it as a swim bait with, a swim head jig, a hook and everything. Or on your A-rig. I know I use it a lot on my A-rig. When we're allowed to use an A-rig on tournaments or just when you're out fun fishing. But this one here is probably one of my favorite little swim baits to use when I'm out there fishing. Now they got a smaller size, it's 3.5. swim bait. So a lot of times I might put that on like a small chatterbait, and because I think putting this heavier one on a chatterbait kind of takes that action away. So I probably use it on this one right here, and I have. So same thing, white. And the next one is kind of an interesting one. It's called the Challenging. This is a 5-inch Challenging, and you can see it's got like the swim bait tail, the little flippers, like 6 of them. But what's unique about this one is you can take and pull off those first set of pinchers, and then you have this kind of a bait. Or you can take these off and actually cut this off a little bit, and you can use that on the back of a jig, chatterbait, spinnerbait as your trailer and stuff. Or you can just straight rig it on Texas rig and flip it into grass, buckbrush, logs, whatever. But it has a lot of movement. If you leave all those little tails on there, you can feel the vibration and how much water it's dispersing as you pop it up and it comes down. It's something different. But anyway, those are the ones that I kind of stick with. I just have just a small amount that I always like to use. I don't get all into all these other different baits as far as trying. I just know what works over a period of years of on the water. And but check out Bass Reaper. It's a family-owned business. They've got great product. The owners are great people to work with, and they'll do whatever they can to help you, fish out there and have product. But check out Bass Reaper Bait Company, and like right now, if you're in the Tennessee area, they're at a show down there in East Tennessee in Knoxville. I think they're there until Sunday. Go over and say hi to Greg, and look at all their baits. Maybe pick up some to try. And then you can also order them online too, so you're never out of them. And they're in several different stores, and he's still getting them out at different stores. So again, a family-owned business. Support your family-owned businesses. That's what they make a living on. And so I'm just happy to be part of their family as the Bass Reaper Bait Company, and I really appreciate their support and everything. All right, thank you, and have a good evening.